So absolute basics that I feel you need if you're gonna be cooking this many vegetables at once are bowls. These are just plastic, large bowls. A sharp knife. Up until recently, I did not realize how not sharp my knives were until I got that one, and life is so much easier. This is my favorite cutting board. It's just super thin, it sticks, and it's huge, it doesn't slide around, it's awesome. And I cook everything that I can in this giant wok. I seasoned it with coconut oil, and it's amazing. For stirring things in the wok, I use this spatula. The spatula is bigger than my face. It lifts and tosses a lot of vegetables at once. This spatula is used for, you know, whatever else I'm doing. They both are covered in silicone, so they don't scratch anything, and they scrape anything off, and they're really, really, really incredibly awesome and easy to use. Frequently when I'm about to start a meal, I put rice in my rice maker, and then, you know, the carb is just done. So I like that. Or I'll put sweet potatoes in the oven, and then again, they're just done by the time I'm done with everything else. So I'm gonna show you the Vidalia chopper and why it is my absolute favorite toy ever. It comes with two different inserts, and you can see the different sizes here. No, you can't. You can see the two different sizes. You can dice things very fine for like a salsa, or you can chop it pretty big for cubes, which is what I typically do all the time. So here's what I do. I usually have, one bucket that's for refuse. So everything I cut off of things is gonna be put into here. So I'm going to take, say, my onion and chop the ends off. I've already rinsed this off pretty well. I chop it in half, and I peel off the outer layer of skins, and these go into my first bucket. That's just for all the extra waste stuff. Now I have to measure and see if things are the right size for the Vidalia chopper, and it looks like it's a little bit too big, so I'm gonna cut it in half. There. Put it in here, and it is magically chopped. Do the next one. And I have beautifully diced onion. Takes just a few seconds. This one's already peeled. Just chop it. Go ahead and chop it in half. If they're really small, you can just put on a whole half by itself. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I just chopped 2 onions, and I'm ready to go. I also really like doing this with celery. So pull off pieces of celery. Usually I will just chop it all, actually. Chop it like this, and then chop it like this. All of this into my bucket. Again, I already rinsed these, washed it all off. So now I'm gonna cut it into pieces small enough for the Vidalia chopper. And put it in here. And my celery is diced up into beautiful fine little chunks as well. Anytime I want to make a saute of any kind, I pretty much always add mushrooms. And rather than sit and chop these up, also already rinsed, I rinse them off, I put them in here, and I chop them all very easily. I call this my personal assistant. because it makes my life so much easier. And I don't have to go ask anybody else to help me cook. So, my mushrooms are done. Get out another bucket. Add my mushrooms too. I do this with everything. Absolutely everything. So, I could take a head of cauliflower, just chop this bottom stuff off. And then you've probably guessed by now, I just need it small enough to fit through this square in the Vidalia chopper. So you get the point with that one as well. Beautifully chopped cauliflower. Cabbage is one of my favorite filler vegetables. It's good for you, got lots of fiber, and it pretty much just absorbs the flavor of whatever it is that you're cooking. So, chop the end off, get rid of some of the more external leaves that aren't so pretty, and then start chopping it into Vidalia chopper pieces. Cut it in half. Look at that piece. Cut it in half again. And then I cut it into slices. Put it right into the Vidalia chopper. Doesn't really matter how messy or neat it is. And I chop. Sometimes it gets a little sticky and you just pull it out. One cool feature of this is this side. You can see, hello. It will show you, it's not really gonna focus, but it's 2 cups, half cup, 1 cup, half cup measurements. So you can see how much of the vegetables you've got going on. Pack it down that way, and you've got more room to fill it up with more half a head of cabbage. All right, so this is also how I cut carrots. I've got these big, beautiful carrots. I peel them. And I chop them into slices. I go right in here with everybody else. As this starts to get sticky, there's actually a little comb for it that you can clean it out. And now it'll stop sticking. More carrots. There we go, chopped a whole carrot. And I enjoyed it. So the way that I typically cook dinner, I usually take, I just keep all of the vegetables in stock, and I'll look through and see what's kind of going bad. And when things are going bad, they're what's up for dinner. So I will come through, I'll prep them, and I'll throw them through that Vidalia chopper, and I'll chop them into chunks. Once I've got a saute of a bunch of chunks of a bunch of random vegetables, I will then make either a pasta base or another side or main dish, and throw, you know, pasta or something in with this. But I don't make real pasta, I make zucchini pasta. And I will show you that as well. This is what I use for zucchini pasta, if you've never seen one before. Here is the box. Spiralizer. And here's my zucchini, nice and rinsed. I chop off the ends and then straight through the middle. Put it in this device, and I need a bowl. I put a bowl here at the end and get the zucchini ready. I put the zucchini in here, and then I spin. It spiralizes it down. These pieces can go through, you guessed it, the Vidalia chopper. And here is my pasta. So I will be sauteing all of my cabbage and cauliflower, mushrooms and onion. I'll saute everything all together in the wok. And then I will spiralize some zucchini, toss it in there. I season things usually with a homemade Montreal steak seasoning version. It's got salt and pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and like an Italian blend, sage, savory, basil, thyme, that sort of thing, rosemary, etc. So I keep one of these on hand. I fill it up with my own spices. I know there's no MSG or anything in it because that really bothers us. And I use pink Himalayan salt. Oh, motherload pink Himalayan salt. And I'll sprinkle this on just about anything. We've got some other seasonings for some other things, but that one we use a lot. So I think that's about it. Typically, you know, if I've got extra of anything, I'll just go ahead and put it in a Ziploc bag so it's prepared, like you see the butternut squash that we're gonna use today. Ready to go ahead and make butternut squash soup, and we don't have to worry about chopping and preparing it all, because last time we made butternut squash soup, we just sat here peeling, putting it through the Vidalia chopper, and made a ton. So now we're ready to make a second soup. Anyway, I hope that helped. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye. Okay, I'm gonna show you just how simple and easy it is now that I have all my vegetables chopped to go ahead and mix them in the wok. So I've got my wok with oil in it. I've got some vegetable debris in it from earlier. So here is my cauliflower and cabbage that I chopped up right in front of you with the Vidalia chopper in the last video. And add some onions. This is amazing. Look at this. Look at how much I can stir. I love this spatula. It's awesome. So give that a few minutes to cook. I sprinkle on some of my seasoning. Homemade. And then you just keep stirring. It's very exciting. Okay, so it's been about 15 minutes of stirring this. Added a lot of coconut oil, heated up the wok, and then tossed in all the vegetables and stirred away. I mean, I've walked away and done other stuff, but it's just been sitting here cooking. So you can see the vegetables are starting to get tender and moist, and they're about done. Tried the cauliflower, it's not so crunchy anymore. So now I add my zucchini noodles. I open it up, I make some room to add my fresh veggies so that they get cooked, and toss this stuff in. There we go. It'll only take a couple minutes for the zucchini noodles to start to just warm up and absorb the flavor of all of the other vegetables and the seasoning. So about now is when I go ahead and call people for dinner, let them know that it's ready. And sometimes I do chop these noodles so that they're not never ending. They kind of go on infinitely. And just stir it up to get it all mixed together. And I've got zucchini pasta with lots of vegetables. So this meal right here that I just made was actually, I told my mom I wasn't gonna cook tonight because I needed to work. So I decided that for work I was gonna go ahead and make a YouTube video and show everybody my kitchen tools, and just in showing you this is how I cook this is how I cut this is how I cut this, just for about 10-15 minutes, I ended up with an entire gigantic wok full of vegetables, my seasonings here ready. It's just super easy. I just kind of accidentally made a big dinner. I have a lot of people in this household that have all sorts of different diets, including myself, and we have to be very careful about what we eat, so we tend to eat a lot of vegetables, and this is kind of the main way, the easiest way for me to just prepare a lot of food for a lot of hungry people. I know a lot of people out there have families to feed, and my family is made of all grown adults who eat a lot of food, and I cook from somewhere between 6 to 11 people on any given night. If all of the family in the neighborhood comes over for dinner, that's 11 people. So big bowl like this of a main dish, some green beans or sauteed greens on the side, potatoes in the oven, and then I usually make a protein for the meat eaters. I've got, this is what I did while that was cooking. I put a bunch of salmon in a pan, which I'm gonna cook to go along with dinner tonight. So to me, you just have to be able to easily prepare food, have a lot of it so that tomorrow when you're hungry at lunchtime, you just have some more pasta, throw in some salmon, and you've got a really delicious meal that you just made that's super fresh and super delicious. So I hope that helps everybody. It's not quite your usual tutorial, but it's how I've learned to cook very efficiently, make a lot of really healthy food, and keep everybody that I love very healthy. Hope you enjoy.